Hello Aquarius, it's Marina from the Butterfly Effect, and this is your reading for October 2023. This is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising or Venus. Aquarius has come through on the dice and we're looking at, for the month of October, the 11th house and Mars. So the 11th house is a really lucky house. It's actually ruled by Aquarius. I see that as a good sign. It's also known as the house of good spirit. So this month what could be coming up is specifically around friendships, groups, your social life. This can speak to followers or fans, your network, your social life, but it's also the house of hopes and wishes. Now, because Mars is here, Mars is considered a malefic planet. That may mean that social interactions are going to be in some way difficult, and that may be specifically around, your friend group. It can be that there may be some anger or, passionate interactions publicly. But it can just mean that there's maybe, it can also mean about severing something. Mars can speak about severing a connection, or maybe just for the month of October, maybe having some sort of solitude. I'm only saying that because I have the archetype of the temple in reverse coming through for you. So this can relate obviously to your home, your sanctuary, somewhere where you feel comfortable, and that may be in some way upended this month, or you may just choose to retreat, have a little bit of a time out from maybe social interactions, or maybe things are fiery, or maybe friends aren't getting on, or whatever it may be. I'm sort of feeling there's possibly a desire to kind of draw back in the month of October for you Aquarius. There is a lot of deep emotion coming through here with the ocean, and who had that? Libra just had that the other day. And the heart, now the heart's in reverse here. I'm having an issue coming up in personal relationships. We've got a main male here and a mature man. I have their archetypes and we'll get on to them. I sort of feel that this may be in connection to whoever these relationships relate to, but the ocean is speaking of something that's very, very deep, incomprehensible. It's big, unfathomable in some way, and the heart being in reverse can speak to some sort of betrayal. I am getting that there is someone probably missing you here. I'm also getting that it could be someone, particularly this main male, who may be particularly destructive, or you may actually be dealing with some sort of legal matter that might come through, and it feels like it's coming from a place of hurt, because there's somebody I think that might be missing you. I actually heard when I got over to this section, Billy Ocean, love really hurts without you, but I actually got you're giving it to some other guy. So we'll get on to that. But the oracle cards are fantastic for this month, really quite something. The fairy bee, my life is sweet, and believe in the impossible, which is the blue moon. This speaks of abundance and golden times coming. So if there's been a tough period, this is entering into a period of flow and ease. It can also be about creating the connections that we actually really need or want in our life. So that might be with Mars in the 11th, maybe severing some connections and creating some new ones here. Also can indicate that health is restored in some way. You may be looking into herbal remedies, or maybe you're interested in pollen or honey, the health benefits of this month. But with once in a blue moon, this is something that's very, very rare. It means there's some sort of opportunity or event that's coming up that may take you by surprise, and it's important to recognize it, because it is fleeting almost. There is an opportunity for you to manifest something that you've hoped and wished for, and we are in the house of hopes and wishes. But it almost feels that maybe what you've hoped and wished for, Aquarius, is too big, and you maybe don't quite believe that it's possible to happen. So as opposed to, you'll believe it when you see it, this is asking you to, believe in it, and then you'll see it. Yeah, it feels incredibly positive, really, really does. The two lovely cards. And the overall theme for the month, I've got my Kipper deck here, which I will clarify with some tarot, is high honor and unexpected income. Now, high honor is a trump card in this deck, and it speaks of rewards in the main. It's been highly respected and admired, having some sort of recognition. It looks like some sort of pay raise, or there's money coming from somewhere. Let's just get into where that would be. Hang on. Now, the unexpected income isn't normally, I'm just seeing the, crikey, look at that. Ace of Pentacles in the upright, Justice, and Six of Pentacles in reverse here. So there is possibly some sort of contract that's likely new. It could be a new job, or there's some sort of settlement in terms of money coming through here. Yeah, there is definitely some sort of offer, maybe in connection with children, but I'm getting that there is an offer of money. Now, what I was trying to say is the unexpected income in this deck is not normally huge. It does relate to some sort of rebate or a small win or a pay rise or something like that. It's a Knight of Pentacles, so it could really relate to something on the job front here. Now, I am seeing on the job front, we've actually got occupation and distant horizons. So this can be like a dream job. Distant horizons is also hope and big wishes. That's what it was traditionally called. So there may be a job or a business or a line of work that you've always wanted to get involved in here, that, you know, just sort of comes out the blue. Yeah. Let's have a look. But the Knight of Pentacles speaks of diligence, hard work, commitment. It's slow growing. But where's the High Honor coming from? Right, so there may be some sort of battle here. I'm coming back to this main male. So this can speak of like discord in the workplace. It can be that there's competition or jealousy, a bit of infighting here. That is suggesting to me with the High Honor that you have to stand your ground in some way, that, you know, you will be able to surpass or, you know, reach the sort of top of the heap here. So if there's a lot of competition for a job, for example, or for pay rises and whatnot, I'm feeling, certainly with the High Honor card, I mean, it is the only trump card that's out, that it's a win in some way, you know, and it is through some sort of work, and it's literally the card of winning. Seeing that there could be, you know, there might be some stress around this, Aquarius, or there has been some stress, but this is a win. This is success, validation, being seen, coming out on top, and it is literally what follows the Five of Wands here. So there is some sort of competition, or you're up for a new job, or you're trying to get a pay rise. It's a win. It's just simply that. That's why I find it odd that money and investments came through with despair. It might not be you, but because I keep going back to this chap here, and I normally use my Lenormand deck. I didn't have it on me, so I just picked up my Kipper, and it does represent, you know, a masculine energy. This is, it says not hiring in the background here, so this could be somebody who's out of work or is not able to find the work they're looking for. Let's have a look. So why is money and investments? And that may be where you are now, and this believe in the impossible and life is sweet and suddenly everything turns around, is the direction we're moving in. So we've got the Knight of Swords and we've got the Eight of Wands here. I do think there is possibly some sort of anger coming through here, because with this archetype of the Judge in reverse and the Shapeshifter, this can be someone who is pretty fickle, you know, maybe a little bit unstable. I'm feeling that somebody is taking, I mean, it can just be like taking really fast action, communicating a lot, but I'm feeling there's a lot of messages coming through here with regards to money and investment. So, I mean, if you have a partner, for example, or maybe an ex-partner, I can feel that the pace and the volume of messages is incoming. This may even be something that you're blocking, a relationship you're blocking here. Who's in despair for money? Right, so we don't really know the full story here. The moon can mean that we're not able to see things clearly, but it also speaks of deception, sometimes in love, but just in general. We do have the Heart in reverse here. It can mean that someone is very, very emotional. I am feeling that somebody is maybe a little bit unstable, or, you know, there is something that's really bothering them, you know. It's like as deep as the ocean here, and there is maybe an event that happens in someone else's life that it's going to kind of spark them in some way. I sort of feel them coming in quick with a lot of messages, and it may be kind of like, I sort of feel like you're looking at it like, what does that even mean? You know, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't know. Let's see. What about the despair? Why is the moon And the Knight of Swords is angry. This is a masculine energy. I sort of did feel it was relating across to this main male. There is also a mature man here, Aquarius, who's coming through, who's really quite lovely. So there may be someone else in your life here. The Spirit Dancer and himself, both in the upright, which is positive. The Spirit Dancer is about sort of freedom and exploration. This may be somebody who's trying to escape from something, but it's also just someone who's expressing themselves. I just feel the way they're expressing themselves is possibly dishonest, or it's coming from a really emotional place. It's almost, you know, if someone has bottled something up for a long time. Bear in mind this relates to money, so it has to relate to money. I know I will do a read across, but there is something to do with money here in connection with this masculine energy that's going to come up this month, okay? So in terms of work, colleagues, business, we have got the distance horizons and the occupation here. The occupation card can obviously speak to just the job, but it's also ambition a lot of the time, what we aspire to do. And with distant horizons, this can sometimes speak of a wish fulfilled. So Tower is in reverse here. Strength is in reverse, and the Four of Cups. There's literally someone here who's disappointed with what they have, their love life, what they're getting, and you know, I just feel with the life is sweet and something really good happens here, Aquarius, that it's almost like as you're up, someone feels that they're going, you know, down, and that doesn't need to be the case. It really could be a perception. In all honesty, the Tower is usually something that's happening. I mean, it can be avoiding a disaster here, and certainly with this, if someone is coming in hard and fast and angry and, you know, odd, the Strength in reverse is possibly suggesting not to fight fire with fire here, you know, in this department. Not add fuel to the fire anyway, and this may be why we have the Temple in reverse, which is a card of retreat and remaining solitary. It's almost like you don't want to, you know, rock the boat any more than it's already been rocked. But the Tower in reverse can also speak to something that's happening like the periphery. So this is something that's happening in terms of your work, or with a colleague, with a business partner, an employee, if that relates. There's something going on with somebody else. Tobias of the Waters. So this is speaking to, things are changing a lot emotionally here, and I'm coming back to this Temple. It's asking for a time where we are, you know, serene and calm. We meditate. We accept what sort of changes are happening as gracefully as we possibly can. It also does speak about flow. This is like, you know, the emotion like flowing through our hands. It's not something that's pent up or, you know, comes out inappropriately. When the My Life is Sweet card here, this speaks about things moving from a period of not being great, maybe a little bit tough, into a period of flow. So this is just flowing with whatever changes are happening on the work front here, or with whoever this is in your life. It's almost like you have to be really, really zen this month. Because there is an opportunity coming up here, and these almost feel like not necessarily just distractions, but almost an attempt to steer you in the wrong direction, because there's a really great opportunity coming up here. Yeah, and as I say, it might well be that, I mean, it's not necessarily jealousy, but I'm just feeling as you're maybe elevating, or things are looking up for you, the perception for someone else is that, you know, they maybe have to compete, or their life isn't going in the best direction. So in terms of health and well-being, this courtship is coming through. Now this is normally a new relationship. It can just speak to a meeting, but I do have at the base of the deck the marriage card with the adjudication. That speaks to legal matters in connection with a marriage, but also can speak to the state of any relationship, and it's one where there may be some sort of judgment or final decision, or you may be involving, you know, a lawyer, barrister, mediator, something like that. It feels like there's a legal route coming up here. But in terms of, you know, what's affecting your health and well-being this month, there is a courtship, and this courtship may be a new one. 2 wands reversed. It almost feels like there's something that's not like kind of getting off the ground here. You know, there's certainly some sort of delay, there's procrastination, there's the inability to make a decision as to which direction to go in, what option possibly to choose. I feel that somebody's maybe nervous or wary of making a poor decision here, or wasting their time on something. But there is definitely something coming up in terms of this relationship or this meeting. I don't know if somebody even wants to like travel, quite possibly. The guardian at the gate speaks that we are ready for like the next stage of something in terms of a relationship, and this is the LOM. This is unconditional giving, unconditional love. It's a hugely supporting relationship. It's usually a relationship that's been in place for a long time, but it can also speak to maybe even like volunteer work, or, you know, it's really giving in some way. And the guardian at the gate means that it's a passage to a new life. Again, there's something opening up here, and we're like on the runway. This is the runway. There is, oops, sorry. Oh crikey, there's a little bottleneck here to get through, where we're, you know, our passports checked, and but also that we're checked to make sure that we're ready for what we're actually letting ourselves in for. So I'm feeling there's maybe a little bit apprehension with something that could be relatively new on the relationship front, if that relates, but this literally just could be some sort of meeting or get together here. I'm feeling that it's just a little bit apprehensive about that. But I can't see any reason to be, quite frankly, Aquarius. So let's get on to this main male. So this is in the department of personal relationships, family, partner, ex-partner, possibly children. And here he is, the main male. So this is normally a significant masculine energy in your life. I don't normally read this as like a brother, but it usually comes through as my wealthy man. So I do think this is someone quite significant. And he has the Judge in reverse and the Shapeshifter in reverse. So as I've already alluded to, this could be someone who's very critical, is very destructive in the way they speak. They may be exercising poor judgment, but they may also be threatening others via legal routes, you know. This is someone who can change by the day with the Shapeshifter in reverse. This is someone who changes appearances, who, you know, adapts themselves to fit into whoever it is they're dealing with, to make themselves likable, popular. But ultimately this is someone who is likely deceptive because of that. You know, they don't have almost like a kind of core identity. So who is this main male for Aquarius? This is something where there's something wrapping up with this individual. Could be somebody at a distance here. The Ace of Cups is in reverse. It's been trying to come out for a wee while here. So it can be like, you know, love is lost here, but it can also sometimes speak to a new love that hasn't quite manifested. Really not feeling that with this guy's archetypes, to be honest. But you may have more than one option here with the main male and the mature man. To me, the mature man is, it can be a father. It can be someone who's older than you. But actually, with his archetypes, this is someone who's really, really young at heart. I actually feel this is a very supporting energy, this mature man. But this masculine energy with the Ten of Wands here, this is somebody who's struggling to see the future, struggling to make plans, struggling to wrap something up, accepting that something has, you know, kind of run its course here. They could be angry, could be lying, could be talking crap, might be making you some sort of financial offer, or you have a connection with them in terms of children and money. But yeah, what's Aquarius to do with this? You have to keep your feet on solid ground and not get carried away. There is some sort of group thing here. This is my collection of pixies, which talks about, you know, groups, and, you know, it can sometimes be willingly, you know, doing what's required of you, that sort of thing. You know, it's a very light-hearted approach. It can be about setting a good example, etc. Flav the Footer is saying you need to get your feet on solid ground and not sort of be earth, really, because it can be the possibility of kind of, you know, floating away into the ethers when this energy comes through. It's asking you to be really present and Yeah, I just getting this, I really don't like this moon with the Knight of Swords here. It almost feels like if it's not aggressive, it's kind of like passive aggressive messages that are coming through here, you know, and I just get this feeling that it could possibly derail all the good stuff that's coming in here, or literally that's happening because of the good stuff that's coming in here. So the main male is definitely struggling just now under some sort of weight or burden because things aren't good at home. This really could be an ex-partner or someone you're in separation from, or it could just be someone significant in your life who's having issues with the family at home. This is somebody who wants to fight. They may even feel kind of depleted physically, financially, you know, they're running out of options in some way. But this is all speaking about it's a wrap. You've got the 10 of Wands, you've got the 10 of Cups, you've got the World here. It is a completion, it is done, it's something that's that somebody can't accept, you know, that it's over, it's done, it's like it's run its course. There's nothing to kind of hold on to here, Aquarius. I'm speaking to your cross watcher here if that's the case. So let's have a look at this mature man. This is someone who's also in your department of personal relationships, family, partner, and he has the poet archetype and the child nature archetype. I really love this chap, he's very lovely. The child archetype is it's very friendly, you know, it's somebody who's very young at heart, likes animals, loves nature, but you know, they are tough as well, but they just have a very light approach to life. And with them coming through as the poet, I did get they could be musical in some way. It's someone who sees beauty in most things, they express themselves eloquently. They just seem like a really positive influence. Now, this could be somebody who's connected to this main male, you know, and not you. But it is likely somebody that is coming through in October as, I think, quite a supportive energy. Come through with the Queen of Cups here. So this could be someone who's connected with a water sign or the Queen of Cups, but this is also a lot of loving emotion, a lot of caring, a lot of you know, kindness with the Queen of Cups. She is the sort of mothering archetype here. Now, honestly, with the Hierophant here, and if you are dealing with some sort of legal matter here, this is the guy, you know, this is the one who will make the decisions. They can speak about a legal contract, a higher authority here. I mean, it honestly could be your lawyer or, you know, I mean, it just could be a masculine in your life who's really supportive at this time here. Jehovah, got some sort of fear coming through here, fear of an ending again. Don't know if this is you, Aquarius, or this is this mature man. There is a fear of letting something go here because we don't know what the future holds, basically. And Jehovah blows our fears out of proportion. You know, it's almost like imaginary fears, and it's certainly a projection of old traumas, you know, into the future, into our current set of circumstances here. The Death card is about not being able to see the future and having to release something. So there may be a contract, there may be a marriage, this may be someone who's helping you with that, as I say. Do have marriage at the base of the deck, and literally under that we have adjudication. So I'm feeling that something is wrapping up in a very, very big way for you this month, Aquarius. Obviously we do have a couple of eclipses on the 14th and the 28th. Might want to check where they are in your chart. So that's your reading, and I'm just going to take you a little bit of advice and see what more messages we have for Aquarius for the month of October. I just worry about this chappy over here. I mean, he does look like he's on the bones of his arse, do you know what I mean? In some way. Enlightenment. So you're going to be able to see things really clearly here. You're going to have an understanding of your own self-worth. Wisdom. This comes through age, maturity. This is about honouring oneself. This is about patience as well. This may be something that's taken a while to, you know, come to fruition or wrap itself up. The self-worth card comes through when we need to exercise just that. We need to work on our self-esteem. We need to know that we're capable, and we need to trust ourselves above all others, because this story, the backstory of it, is where someone isn't believed, you know, and it takes some time for them to realise that the little girl was telling the truth, but it was obviously very unsettling for her to be, you know, questioned, and maybe something like that coming up. I think you have to in some way stick to your guns, understand your worth, and don't let anyone reduce that in any way, shape or form. Okay, Aquarius, that was your reading. I hope you enjoyed it, or I hope you found it useful, and do have a great month. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.